Alrighty, my friends. Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, everybody? Hello and welcome to a brand new streaming week, a full 5 days of double streams. I am Darkside Phil, and I wholeheartedly welcome all of you to my first gameplay stream for Monday, July 2nd, 2018. How you guys doing? I hope the answer is you're doing well. If not, hopefully this stream will aid to change that. Okay? So, hello. Busy week this week, everybody. Busy week. Lots of stuff going on. We got ongoing playthroughs, new playthroughs, throwback retro playthroughs, returning playthroughs of games that have been on hiatus for a year. I mean, a pretty crazy week coming up. And it's going to be a very busy one, switching and swapping between all these games. For those of you who like the fact that I'm a variety streamer, this is definitely going to be your week to see a wide variety of stuff. I mean, in fact, I got so much going on that I really don't even know for sure what I'm doing in the second half of this week yet. Haven't really solidified it or nailed it down because I didn't want to do that without seeing how far I was going to get in games like The Simpsons, which I'm about to play right now. Okay? So, let's talk real quickly, guys, about the schedule for this week. Today, it's going to be the Simpsons Hit and Run on this, my first gameplay stream. 4 hours or more of gameplay, depending on how things go. Excuse me. So far, so good. So far, I have beaten the first 2 worlds, and I'm in Stage 3, which is Lisa's world, and already beat 2 of the races, and Principal Skinner's side mission. So looking for the 3rd race, and then going to head on to the main story missions as usual for these different worlds, okay? And the game seems to be a formula that you follow. Pretty good. I love the fact that the game has full voice acting from the original cast of The Simpsons. It's not like, oh, they got some cheesy voice actors to imitate. No, it's actually the actual voice acting cast of The Simpsons. It's got tons of the characters in it. Really good so far. Really digging the game, although I can already tell the game's going to get super tough the further in we move, okay? So, that's the first stream of today. And then tonight, I'll be checking out more Fighting EX Layer. We'll see how this goes. I played this on Thursday when it was a new release, and people were pretty much well divided. Half the people were interested in a new fighting game, and half the people were saying it was boring and didn't look good, not a good game. So I'm pretty interested to see a second session tonight, how this is going to go. In particular, it was kind of hard to find matches when I first started playing this game on Thursday, but then all of a sudden near the end of my stream, I started getting non-stop matches. So maybe now there's more people playing and I'd be able to get more matches tonight when I play. I guess we'll see, okay? So that'll be tonight. 2 hours of Fighting EX Layer later tonight. Tomorrow, the premiere of Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered, the game that I played in 2009. One of my original full playthroughs for Darkside Phil, and the first game I ever did a game review of. Coming back 9 years later, my friends. Yes, 9 years later. Pretty cool to do that. You know, it's almost like full circle when you think about it. So that's going to start up tomorrow. And then tomorrow night will be more Half-Life 2 Episode 2. The Gnome Life run continues. And boy, was it very difficult last time I played it. Trying to keep this gnome in my freaking car and all the stuff I had to do. So we'll see how that goes. And then on Wednesday, it's all going to depend on, you know, what you guys are liking this week. Depending on if you liked more Simpsons or more Red Faction, that's probably going to be my main stream on Wednesday, which, by the way, Wednesday is Independence Day here in the United States. It's a national holiday. A lot of people have it off from work. But being that my work is my hobby, I'm going to be gaming all day. So, yes, we'll either have a Red Faction or a Simpsons stream. And then Wednesday night, I'm strongly leaning towards doing some fighting games, maybe some Super Turbo. Okay, and then Thursday, again, kind of playing it by ear. Whatever I didn't play on Wednesday, I'll probably play on Thursday between Simpsons and Red Faction. And then Thursday night, maybe Half-Life 2's conclusion. It may be something else, maybe more Fighting EX Layer. It all depends on, you know, how things have gone during the week. And then this Friday, this is the big one, guys. The return of Persona 5. All right? The return of Persona 5. This Friday. Going to be exciting. For those who've absolutely loved my playing of this game last year, and the playthrough had to go on hiatus because of the false copyright strikes I received, the game returns on Friday, as the main gameplay stream. I'm going to be playing it for 4 or more hours, all right, on Friday. Pretty cool, right? I'm excited for that. I can't wait to jump back into the game and get it back into the main rotation of games that I'll be playing here on stream, because I really loved it last year, and I was actually disappointed that I had to put the playthrough on hiatus the way that I did. So, it begins again. You know, I'm in the final third of the game, which everyone says is the best part of the game. So, that's going to be Friday, okay? Alright, so that's the rough schedule for the week, guys. Hope that you will be here for the wide variety of stuff I will be doing. And by the way, keep in mind, things can change on the fly at any time. For example, Obi-Wan Kenobi in the stream chat just said, oh man, no H1Z1. Well, maybe there will be a session of H1Z1. It depends on what happens this week and how I'm feeling. For example, if I finish Half-Life 2 on Tuesday night, then probably maybe Thursday I'll do H1Z1. We'll see, okay? Alrighty then. Now, a few other things to talk about, guys. If you weren't here yesterday, you missed the announcements of the new monthly goals that we're doing here on Twitch. It is a new month, the month of July. Typically, the month of July is the slowest month for gaming in the entire year, and it's no exception this year. There's almost no new releases, but since I'm going to be doing my best to entertain you guys, I've also set up 2 new goals for you guys when it comes to subscribers here on the channel. The first goal is 485 subscribers. Right now we're around 444, so that would mean 40 subscribers, and quite frankly, that's not very many, considering just last week we had over 500, but a lot of those expired and did not auto-renew, because a lot of those were Twitch Prime subs that were used during my Detroit Become Human playthrough. So here's the deal. If we hit 485 subs, I'm going to be doing a 10 Years of Rage anniversary special event. Alright? If we hit that, people will be nominating and voting on their favorite moments, their favorite playthroughs, anything related to me that is still visible on the internet, and I strongly emphasize that because a lot of my videos, sadly, over the years, are not visible anymore for copyright reasons, okay? But anything that's still visible on the internet right now, you can nominate and then vote on for your favorite stuff that I've done over the 10-year legacy that I have been a content creator on the internet, okay? And whatever ends up becoming the top nominated and voted on things, I'm going to be doing a special stream where all of us together are going to watch back this old content of mine and react to it. I mean, it's going to be basically a tour de force of 10 years of stuff that I've done. So I certainly hope that this event happens. It would be a very special event to do for my 10-year anniversary, which is coming up in the fall. It's actually, I believe, September is officially my 10-year anniversary of uploading gameplay videos to YouTube. So, and it all started with Star Wars The Force Awakens, the very first game I did a gameplay video on. Pretty cool. So, that's a great event. Now, I also have a stretch goal for this month. If I hit 525 subs, then I'll be doing a second or a special Patron's Choice playthrough event. Because, as you guys have seen, Half-Life 2 and now Simpsons Hit and Run have been some pretty successful playthroughs I've been doing. People have really enjoyed them and come out to watch. So, I see no reason not to do another Patron's Choice event, because these are being very successful, alright? So, those are the 2 sub goals for the month. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see these events happen. In particular, that anniversary event would be incredibly fun, I feel. Something unique I've never done before. Much like the Street Fighter Master Run Challenge, right? I've never done anything like this before, where I interact with you guys vote on your favorite stuff I've ever done, and then I go back and kind of react to it with you guys. Never done anything like that whatsoever, and I would love to do it. So, let's make it happen, alright? We need about 40 subscribers between now and the end of the month to make that happen. It's definitely doable. Fair enough? Did I say The Force Awakens? It's The Force Unleashed. Okay. Yes, it was Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I keep saying The Force Awakens because obviously the movie, it's ingrained in all of our heads now, right? Okay. So that's the big announcement. You know, the new sub goals. I hope you guys will hopefully help to hit those this month. Outside of that, don't in particular have much else to talk about on pre-stream today besides the fact that I finally saw Star Wars The Last Jedi last night. Okay, it was added to Netflix for the month of July. So finally I saw it, and I think I'm kind of in agreement with a lot of people where I don't think the movie's like horrible or the worst Star Wars movie ever made. I don't think it completely ruins the franchise. At the same time, the movie definitely has a lot of issues with pacing It has a lot of issues with balancing plot lines, and some plot lines literally just seem like wedged in there, shoehorned in there to extend the length of the movie and have no kind of payoff whatsoever. And if the word anticlimactic means anything, I think it mostly applies to that movie. With some of the things that happen in that movie that you've been building, and then finally the payoff is like, meh. You're like, oh, man, really? And with all that, then you're like, what the hell's the third movie going to be? Because all the things you thought would culminate in the third movie of this trilogy happened in the second. You're like, meh. But I did like the movie overall. I just didn't think it was amazing. You know, like some people think every Star Wars movie must be amazing. Well, this movie wasn't, in my opinion. But at the same time, there are people who are like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. It ruined all the characters and the lore is destroyed. They defied the old rules of the universe. Like, holy fucking shit. It's a sci-fi movie for fun. Relax. Some people just can't control themselves. Seriously. They just go nuts. They go absolutely nuts when this stuff happens. And, I don't know. For me, like, I don't get that worked up about shit. I don't. You know, I watch a movie and I'm just sitting back trying to enjoy it, not microanalyze every fucking piece of it to see what could possibly, what happened in this movie that makes no sense because of the predetermined laws and dogmas that were determined in the previous Star Wars lore movies, and how did this movie destroy the extended universe with the characters on pretty crazy. Me just sitting back and enjoying myself. I liked the movie, but I definitely agree that there were parts that were not good, okay? And that's just being a fan of movies in general. Just some of the cinematography was like, ugh, what did they do here? Yes, Finn and Rose riding a CGI animal down a fucking... You're like, oh, fuck. Why? This is like the obligatory action scene to put into the commercial for the fucking movie. That didn't need to be in the movie because it didn't add anything, you know? Okay. Alright, so those are my thoughts. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of keeping things moving, let's get to the plug segment quickly. I'll run through these, and then we'll do shout-outs for people who have contributed with cheers, subs, and tips today on stream, and then we'll get set up for gameplay, okay? Alright. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for 10 years of support. Thank you for 10 years of awesome memories, interactivity, and fun, allowing me to play games at least for a hobby for 2.5 years, and then allowing me to turn it into my living for the past 7. I'm so appreciative of everything that you guys do for me on a daily basis. And that's why, despite all the fact that all the stuff that's happened to me over the years, I still work my ass off to be able to do this for a living and put out fun, free, daily content for you as often as I can. That being said, the best way to support me is to watch my streams and videos. But if you'd like to go above and beyond doing that, there are a few other cool things that you could do to help me out. In particular, the first one would be Patreon, which you can check out over at patreon.com/darksidephil. This is my monthly Patreon campaign where your contributions allow me to, help afford doing this for a living. A lot of things that go into this, like cost of games, cost of electricity, internet, etc. Okay? But the cool thing is when you pledge to my Patreon, you get stuff back. In particular, the best perk level that you can earn is you pledge $5 or more, but $5 is the thing to hit it. You get to nominate and vote on games for special events. So in particular, this month, if we do hit the subscriber goal, you're going to be nominating and voting on the playthroughs and the videos that are going to take place in this 10 years of Rage anniversary event. All right? That's really awesome. You're going to actually formulate the event because you're going to determine what we watch during this special event. That is amazing. That is a cool amount of power. And talk about interactivity with my viewers, right? This month I'm playing Half-Life 2 and Simpsons because previously patrons nominated and voted for those games. So you see how awesome it is to be a patron, the amount of power that you get. It's pretty neat. So please check it out at patreon.com/darksidephil. Please consider pledging today. By the way, if you did pledge in June, your pledges should have been processed by now. I did check this morning, and it seems like everything is good. So FYI, I think this month there were about 11 people who had declined pledges. Not a lot, so that's good. But I did message those people who did pledge in June, and for some reason their pledges didn't clear. You now have an opportunity to go check that out and update your information. If you'd like to still get in on the June stuff, get your perks for June and everything, you could still do so if you update your information. So please check out the website, patreon.com, if you were a pledgee in June, just to be sure that your pledge went through. And if there's no message there for me, you're good. I will be messaging you later in the week to get you your perks for June, okay? All right, very nice. Outside of Patreon, there's also my Teespring shop where I sell merchandise, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, mugs. Anything you buy from my Teespring shop, I get a commission for, and it helps me out tremendously. All right. I did recently update my Teespring shop because there were some errors. Some of the oldest designs that I had on there were not working, but I fixed them. I updated the shop, and now they should be working. You should be able to get them again, which is cool. In particular, today I'm wearing one of my shirts. Today I'm actually wearing my I'm Pressing Button shirt, which in particular applies to fighting games, but obviously it could apply to other games as well. This is one of the original shirts that I bought actually last year as one of the original designs, so it's actually one of the oldest designs, but it's really cool, right? So, all my Teespring merch is really high quality stuff that I really enjoy, and I own a bunch of it to attest to the quality. It's really good. I've owned some of it for over a year and never had a problem. You know, the t-shirts haven't worn out or anything. Anything you buy helps me out, so please check it out, and thank you. I guess I should say the link, huh? teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. Okay. All right, and last but not least, if you guys are here live on the stream and you want to get in on the action, get in on the fun, as I'm playing Simpsons and more than likely raging at the difficulty level, you can either cheer, sub, or tip during the stream, and if you do any of those things, I'll give you a verbal shout-out during the stream. Now, please be positive, and please don't bring up negative stuff and drama. Do not reference other people who are being negative. Do not bring in other drama from other streamers or any of that crap. In general, this is a very positive gameplay stream, and we don't need any of that kind of element in here. Keep in mind that this is my stream, and it is very subjective what I decide to read on it. Just because you contribute does not mean that you're guaranteed a shout-out depending on the content of what you are cheering, all right? Now, if you would like an animation to show up during the stream, maybe a cool interactive animation as a thank you for your contributions, you could do that if you either cheer 50 bits or more in one go, if you subscribe to the channel, wait a couple minutes, and then click on the share button that appears when you sub, or if you tip me $5 or more in one go. If you do any of those things, you'll get a cool animation to play on the stream as well, so you get both visual and verbal recognition for your contributions, right? Pretty cool. All right. I've already mentioned subscribing, and, you know, the subscriber goals for this month. The other benefits you get for subscribing besides building towards those goals, that you get access to all of my emotes here on the channel, of which many new ones have been added recently. Pretty awesome. In addition, you don't have to watch advertisements when I run ad breaks. And finally, you get a cool subscriber crown in the chat to show how long you've been an ongoing sub. That changes color depending on how many months of, you know, loyalty you've had as a sub. So really cool benefits. Please consider subbing to the channel. It helps me out, and it builds towards these big sub events. And this anniversary event is a really cool one that I hope we can hit. So I hope you guys will consider subbing. All right. Last but not least, before we get to shout-outs, I mentioned tipping a couple times on the pre-stream. You might say, well, what is tipping? Well, tipping is completely separate from cheering and subbing, which are things that are done through Twitch. Tipping is a completely separate process through PayPal. And in particular, right now, guys, tipping helps me out tremendously. The reason being, because right now is the time of the month when everything financially is very tight for me, this first 10 days or so of the month, because all of my bills come due, including, you know, mortgage and credit cards and utilities and everything. But at the same time, I don't get paid from any of my sources of income until like the 10th or 11th of the month. So it gets really tight, okay? So if you tip me, the reason this helps is because tipping I get right away. Anything you tip me, immediately I can use to do things like pay bills. So please consider tipping. There's two ways you could do so during today's stream. If you either look below my stream and you see a button that says Tips Jar, you click on that Tips Jar button, it'll take you to the PayPal page where you can tip me. And you can do it anonymously, or you can leave a message if you want a shout out. Or if you don't see that Tips Jar button, that's cool. Or what you can do is just type an ! tip into the stream chat, and it'll bring up a link where you can click on that, and that will allow you to leave me a tip as well. All right. FYI, today, as you guys can see, we do have a stream stats leaderboard up and in effect. So if you do cheer or tip today, and you are the top cheerer or top tipper, you will be added to that leaderboard and get good credit, not only on the live stream, but also on the YouTube videos, which I record. Okay, so please check it out and, you know, consider tipping me if you can. Tipping right now is definitely the preferred method. A lot of people say, well, geez, Phil, you got a Patreon, you got cheering and subbing, you got tipping, you've got, you know, your Teespring. What's the best way to help you? Right now, for the next 10 days or so, the answer is tipping. After that, doesn't matter, okay? All right, my friends, let's do it. Let's get to shout-outs. Let's get to shout-outs, my friends. All right, so let's scroll all the way down here. First of all, we got a few people who contributed overnight when I wasn't even live streaming, and obviously I want to give these people credit where credit is due. Thank you to Infinite55, who did a 100-bit cheer overnight. Thank you, Infinite. Shout out to Raw Reese33, who resubbed to the channel for the 6th month in a row with Twitch Prime. And by the way, this is a perfect opportunity to bring this up, everybody. Twitch Prime. It's a great way to subscribe because if you're already an Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime subscriber, right, you already use the program, you get one free Twitch Prime sub a month. But what a lot of people don't realize that it does not auto-renew. A lot of people subscribe and then don't realize, oh man, my subscription's expired. Excuse me. In fact, it was just 2 days ago, I got an email from someone who was a longtime viewer and fan. Says, I watch your streams all the time, but I don't talk in stream chat. I just realized for like 5 months my Twitch Prime sub wasn't being given to you because I thought it auto-renewed and it doesn't, so you should bring this up with your viewers. So just to remind you guys, if you are a Twitch Prime user, you will get a free sub, and yes, you do have to resub to the channels that you want to support in order to have that continuously go. All right. All right. Johnny Source Rex also cheered and said, hashtag nude for Nagato. Very nice. Okay, now, to the people who have contributed now during the live stream, all right, we start off with Beard Tendy. All right. Beard Tendy did a 50-bit cheer. He says, let's get it. So Beard Tendy is already, he's already the top cheerer with 50 bits. Let's go ahead and get that going. By the way, I have no idea what a beard tendy is. When I hear tendy, I think chicken tenders. But I don't think that has anything to do with a beard, so. Okay. Shout out to Lord Lamb V3. Lord Lamb V3 cheered and said, what would you rather watch, Family Guy or The Simpsons? Well, honest answer here. If I had a choice to watch the best episodes ever of The Simpsons or the best episodes ever of Family Guy, I would choose The Simpsons, okay? But the thing is about The Simpsons, the show has run for 30 freaking years. The longest running television show, I think, in history, besides like Monday Night Raw, I think maybe has run slightly longer. And that being said, you're going to have, you know, epic moments where The Simpsons really excels, and you're going to have tons of moments where it's not very good. Because the show's been on so long. And in particular, you know, I haven't really watched The Simpsons the last 10 years. So in the modern era, if I had a choice between The Simpsons and Family Guy, maybe I would watch Family Guy. Although I haven't watched either show in quite a long time. So, there you go. Johnny Source Rex cheered. He said, can you give a shout out to Japan today for their match versus Belgium? Okay, well, shout out to Japan in the World Cup. The football action continues. I believe we're starting to get down to the nitty-gritty now. I know a lot of teams have been eliminated over the weekend. Two of the teams that had two of the biggest, highest profile footballers in the world got eliminated. And so they're both out of the World Cup. And I think is this week the conclusion? I'm not sure. But it seems like we're really starting to get down to it, okay? So, there you go. Alrighty then, my friends. Okay, shout out to Third Eye the Third, who cheered. He says, I saw people on the internet trying to make money off your image. Someone has a blanket with your face on it. If you guys ever see anything like that, if there is a way for you to report it through that business, I recommend you do. If not, if you want to send me information, like shoot me an email and say, hey, Phil, you know, here's someone selling your face on a blanket on this website. Here it is. I can myself go over there and check it out. And if it's true, you know, I could take care of it. You know, there were a few people on Teespring a year ago who were selling shirts with my face on it without my permission. And, of course, it was a negative thing. It was a negative meme, so I got rid of it. And Teespring immediately took it down and said, thank you for letting us know we don't want this kind of crap on our site. So if you guys ever see anything like that, and you can report it yourselves, go right ahead. But if not, send it my way, and I'll give it a look, okay? Johnny Saurus cheered again. He says, can you please put an American flag up behind you on the 4th? Well, if I can find... I have a little American flag that I had back all the way, if you can believe it, all the way back from when I lived with my parents in the 2000s before I ever really moved out. I've had the flag for that long. And I have it in the corner of my office here. I guess I could see if I could find a way to wedge it into my love seat and have it stand up maybe on the 4th of July. We'll see. Maybe I will. We'll see. All right, shout out to Derek, who cheered. He says, I hope you have a great Independence Day this Wednesday. I had my Canada Day yesterday, and I celebrated by watching a ton of fireworks. Yeah, there's a lot of fire. Already I could tell. This happens every year. This week, for Independence Day, tons of people buy fireworks and start setting them off. And so you're sitting here, it's calm and peaceful now. We can relax. Pop, 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 motherfucker. But it's part of the whole thing, and I expect it every year, so no big deal. That douche kid cheered and said, yo, what up, Phil? Or actually, he said, yo, what up, DSP? Thank you for the cheer. A big bumbling black man cheered. He says, oh, that isn't smoke, it's steam. Steam from the steamed clams we're having. Steamed clams. I have no idea what that's a reference to. But steamed clams actually are pretty tasty. All right, Third Eye the Third cheered, 50 bits. So he is Tide Beard Tendy. He says, Star Wars is an overrated piece of shit. What was that story in the new trilogy? Did it really need 3 movies to be told? Or did they spaghettify the fuck out of it just to make more money and sell merch? I wonder. Disney is greedy and has no soul. Wow. Nice positive message here this morning. Holy crapola. That was an interesting message, but nonetheless, you are tied for top cheer, so thank you for the cheer. I mean, the reason he's bringing that up is on pre-stream. Obviously, I've been talking about Star Wars The Force Awakens, or excuse me, Star Wars The Last Jedi, so. All right, Bent Boxer cheered. He said, no Luke Skywalker, no watch. So I guess he's not watching any of the more of the movies. Concrete Casket cheered. Or excuse me, let me rephrase. I completely misspoke there. Concrete Casket subscribed for the 9th month in a row. A 9-month resub. 9 months of support. And he says, 9 months, fuckers. Thank you, Concrete Casket, for 9 months of support. That douche kid cheered and said, how do I give bits? How ridiculous. You just cheered. He's obviously just kidding. Okay. Johnny Source Rex cheered. He says, can we make a Cosmod for my final day here? The answer is absolutely no. YOLO Dopper cheered. He says, you shouldn't be talking about the Star Wars movie. You have to have knowledge to know how bad that movie really is, because it was only pushing SJW agendas. Oh boy, here we go again. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take a deep breath. Oh, brother. Take a deep breath. Relax. And moving on. Okay. A big bubbling black man cheered. He said, Aurora Borealis at this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen. Now that sounds familiar to me. That quote sounds familiar to me. Crap, what's that from? I definitely recognize that quote. But I don't know what it's from off the top of my head, but that does sound familiar to me, that quote. Is that a Simpsons reference? People are saying steamed hams. That's from The Simpsons. Okay. I was going to say some of these quotes are sounding familiar. Okay. Shout out to Obi-Wan Kenobi, who did a 50-bit cheer and said, hopefully J.J. Abrams can fix the last movie of the Star Wars Episode 9. A lot of people felt that Star Wars Episode 8 ruined everything. So I guess we'll see. Well, Obi-Wan Kenobi is now tied for top cheer. However, there's no way I'm doing a 3-way tie. And since he was the person who cheered last, he's getting up on the leaderboard. So there you go. That's how it works. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, instead of doing these incredibly long, crazy ties that make the leaderboard way too long, from now on, if there's a triple tie or whatever, whoever's the last person to cheer will get up on the leaderboard. Okay? But, hey, someone else can bump Obi-Wan Kenobi by doing one more bit than that, okay? Alright, Random Ghost tipped me $1 and said that I live in the past and I need to move on. How can I move forward if I live in the past? I have no idea what you're even talking about. I have no idea. No one is talking about the past besides my 10-year anniversary event, which is a fun thing to do, being that I'm a 10-year-long content creator. Outside of that, no one on this pre-stream has referenced the past at all. So you may have some weird agenda for yourself, and I have no idea what you're referencing. But I gotta kind of scratch my head on this one. I have no idea what you're talking about. I really don't. All right, Random Ghost tipped me $1 and said that I live in the past and I need to move on. How can I move forward if I live in the past? I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're referencing. But I gotta kind of scratch my head on this one. I really don't. But thank you for the $1 tip nonetheless, and you get up on the leaderboard for that. Okay, then. All right, shout out to that douche kid who cheered and said, how much for a DSP body pillow? Asking for a friend. Ooh. Ooh. Well, I don't think that's ever going to happen, I'm just saying. Thank goodness. Shout out to Lord Lamb V3. He says, if we, the patrons, vote for you to rewatch your top 10 racist end-of-the-year moments from back in the day, would you do it? You think Twitch would have a problem with that? Quite frankly, Lord Lamb, being real with you, I think Twitch would have a problem with that. I do. If you're not aware, those videos, which, by the way, have been on the internet for 8 years now, because I put them out in I think it was late 2010. I think it was late 2010 when I released those. So you're talking 8 years ago. But YouTube demonetized, flagged them for adult content. I think one of them can't even be viewed because it was like flagged as against the community guidelines or whatever. I didn't get a strike or anything for it, but basically those videos were like blacklisted into oblivion. And it's hilarious because when I released them in 2010, no one had a problem with them. People understood the comedy, they realized that it was just jokes, and they really thought they were funny as hell. And now here we are 8 years later, and the videos are like, oh my god, the devil's spawn on YouTube. Unreal how times change, right? So, no, sadly, I don't think those videos would be able to be, used for the event. As I said, the preface of the event, the 10 Years of Rage event, would be a video that is currently watchable right now. Because, any videos that already of mine have been taken down or whatever, no, those would not be eligible. And I'm certainly not going to prod the hornet's nest when it comes to Twitch terms of service and start putting out, videos from how long ago that already were taken down or, censored or whatever. I'm not going to be doing that kind of content. Okay? Okay. Alright, shout out to Game Master Used Phoenix Down. That's a cool name. Game Master Used Phoenix Down. I like that. I wonder if this is Game Master 2003 is dead, changing his name again. If it is, welcome and thank you for the cheer. 180-bit cheer. You were the current top cheerer for about 2 seconds. But then immediately after you cheered, Zacho cheered and said 300 bits and said, go Japan mofos, have a chill stream fill. All right, thank you very much, Zacho, for the cheer. You are the top cheerer for the stream. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. Thank you very much. Oops. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, continuing on. Johnny Saurus Rex cheered and said Japan versus Belgium has begun. I guess there's a new World Cup map World Cup map? Wow. There's a new World Cup match going on. Wow. Okay. Shout out to a big bumbling black man who cheered and said, question about your past. How old were you when you left your parents' house? And what was your first job before your internet presence? How old was I when I left my parents' house? I'm assuming you mean when I did not live with my parents anymore. The earliest that I left my parents' house, I was 18. I lived at university or / college. I call it university because a lot of my viewers call it university. In the United States, we call it college, but a lot of people don't call it college outside of the U.S., so I call it university. But, yeah, about 1 semester, I lived I lived on campus. And then I moved back in with my parents for a while. Then it was 2005, I believe. So at that point, I would have been, like 23. Because I got a job in another part of Connecticut. So I ended up moving to an apartment. I shared an apartment with 2 of my coworkers for about a year. And I did that for a year. And then I moved back in with my parents again. And then the last time when I never moved back in with them was 2009 when I got my condo in Connecticut. Since then, lived in the condo and now I live here in Washington. So, there you go. Your second half of your question is, what is your first job before your internet presence? I've talked about this many times. I'll talk about it again. When I was 15 years old, I got a job at the local mall. Fast food. Only not the kind of fast food you're thinking. Was I flipping burgers and frying french fries? No, I was not. I worked at a then so-called health food store. So we're talking like 1997, 1997. It was called Everything Yogurt and Salad Cafe. I don't think they even exist anymore. But back then, there used to be this chain of supposed health food stores that made fresh salads as well as frozen yogurt, smoothies, and later on they added things like panini sandwiches and the like. And it was, of course, the running joke with all of my friends that I tossed salad and pumped yogurt for a living. And I did that on and off for a while. I actually worked there all through high school, and then even I for college, for 1 or 2 semesters I didn't, and then I went back there for a little bit. So on and off, I worked there for about 5 years. Made a ton of money doing it for a kid because I used to work my ass off. I would be at school all week, and then all weekend I would work at the mall. So I would make a lot of money, and what I would do is in my free time I would use that money to travel and play Street Fighter. So that's how I had money when I was younger, to be able to travel the country and play Street Fighter back in the day. So there you go. Okay. So there's your answer. Hopefully it was informative for you. Random goes to me another $1. He complains that I don't read his full questions, and he doesn't have an agenda, and herpaderpader. Random Ghost, you have to understand something. Alright? When you attempt to get a shout out on a streamer's stream, what you should probably do is try to be part of a fun experience. Say something that's interesting. Say something that's fun. Don't ask insulting questions that are accusatory of the streamer. Like, what do you think is going to happen? As I said, it's very subjective what I read on my streams. Now, I could keep the stream in a nice positive vein and everyone's having fun and we keep the stream moving. Or I could focus in on every negative, critical thing that everyone says about me, and then the entire stream just becomes drama. Which do you think I'm going to focus on? I mean, use your brain. This is not an opportunity for you to now be, you know, oh, let's rip Phil apart and let's dissect every little thing he does and he lives in the past and herpaderp. What are you talking about? So, like, literally, no one knows what you're talking about, yet you expect, like, I'm going to derail my entire stream to address your question. I am not. Your $1 tip, then, you know, you might as well just keep it. If that's what you're going to be doing, that's not the kind of crap we need. As I said clearly on the pre-stream rules, it's very subjective what I read on my streams, and I'm not going to hamper down the stream with this crap. Okay? Okay. Shout out to PS Geek, who did a 115-bit cheer. He says, hi, DSP. Hold on a second, guys. I misclicked. There we go. Okay. Try this again. PS Geek just cheered. 115 bits. He says, when you begin your streams with different music mixing up, it's so catchy. I sing it all the time, especially the Double Kill song. Oh, so that is the I Spawn, I Die, correct? Yes. I Spawn, I Die. Right. Yeah, pretty good. I definitely like the fact that I do that. Keep in mind, for years I was streaming, I would just have the dead air, or I would have the PlayStation dashboard. And a lot of people criticize me why I did that when other people play copywritten music and licensed music on their pre-streams. Oh, by the way, because I know that's illegal, and now all those people have been hit with DMCA claims on Twitch, so good thing I never did that. But by playing remixes of stuff that I've done over the years that fans have done, it's 100% safe, because guess what? That's my content. You know, those remixes were my content remixed to become, you know, a song or whatever. So there's no chance that I could ever get in trouble for playing that stuff. So, yeah. I enjoy playing those things on the pre-stream. I do. I think that they're pretty good. Okay. Third Eye the Third cheered. He says, I am sick and tired of living in the past jokes. Literally everyone lives in the past, because if you forget your past, you'll repeat old mistakes. Real talk. That's true. You know, there's a difference. There's a big difference between someone who's stuck in the past and someone who likes to every once in a while reminisce on the past and learn about it. So, for example, right, every once in a while I'll say, you know, I have a lot of experience with fighting games over the years. At one point I was a professional player where I was out and I was performing in tournaments and I had placings and the like. But you notice I don't bring that up every single day. It's not something that I put into, welcome everyone to the stream of the guy who placed 4th at EVO in 2005. You know, I'm not doing that shit. That's stupid. And it's not that big of a deal. In fact, I barely mention it. It's usually the people who are so butthurt that I have achievements in my life that bring that shit up all the time, because they can't deal with the fact that at one point I was actually good at fighting games, right? But there's a difference between someone who is constantly harping on the past, or someone who moves on positively with the future, but always remembers things from the past. So absolutely right, as you're saying, so you can learn from it and not make the same mistakes, and so you can celebrate it. You know, this is my 10th anniversary as a content creator on the internet, and in 10 years, so much has changed about being a YouTuber, about being, you know, all kinds of stuff. when it comes to being a content creator on the internet. And, you know, doing a special 10th anniversary event where we could go back and reminisce on some of the weirdest, funniest stuff. I mean, I guarantee you, watching some of my stuff back that I've never watched back before, my reactions would be pretty, you know, wow, I said that, or whoa, this was so different from what I do today, or whatever, you know. It'd be interesting to see. But does that mean that every day I'm going to say, the yesteryear YouTube was so good and this and that, and I used to be this and that? No, we move forward, we have fun, right? We're here, we're playing new games every day, we're celebrating, we're having fun, we're having a good time. That's what streaming's all about. So, there you go. And here we go again. Random Ghost tipped me another $1 just to say that I'm toxic. Yes, you see, Random Ghost, you tipped $3 today on stream to be negative when no one else was being, and to bring up negative shit and basically not even do a valid criticism because you didn't even address what you were talking about, you know, dwelling on the past. And now you're toxic. No, you are. You are the toxic person, and they're the kind of person that sadly I need to weed out of my streams so we don't have this kind of crap on it anymore, because no one wants to hear it. No one wants to hear your crap. Everyone wants to be here and have fun. Me too. I want to be positive and have fun. I don't want to sit here and have people being negative. So, there you go. All right. I think we're good. I think we're ready to begin, my fellow gamers. Actually, hold on, because I forgot to update. I got to update the subs. Whoops. Let's update the sub count and see how we're doing with sub count. Whoopsie. We're down to 437. See, I knew this would happen, because here's what happened. Last month, well, I'm going to take that back. In late May and early June, okay, I played Detroit Become Human. And when I played that game, a ton, and I mean a ton of people subscribed to the channel because of Detroit Become Human. And then the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection launched, and I covered that. And if you remember, I did my history of Street Fighter and stuff, and a bunch of people subbed during that as well. So what we've got is two groups of people who came in specifically for a certain kind of content, who all were supportive at once. And then over the course of June, as you guys know, E3, and now there's like nothing coming, and no new games or anything. So a lot of these people who subscribed have not come back to resubscribe. And I expected this. That's why I actually did not make the sub goal huge. Like, I could have done 500 subs to start. I didn't do that because I knew that it was going to be dropping a lot early on this month. I knew it. I absolutely knew this was going to happen. Okay? So, that being said, still don't feel disheartened, guys. We can still hit the sub goal. There's a whole month to go. Alright, please consider subbing to the channel. Number one, if you want to see the 10th anniversary event happen. And number two, obviously, if you want all the good perks. You know, the emotes, not having to watch ads, the crown, the chat crown, all that stuff. Okay? Kezkart de Judica. I apologize because I have no idea how to say this name. They tipped me $1 and said, Phil, what advice would you give to someone wanting to follow in your footsteps? You can't. That's the advice I would say. Don't even try. Be yourself and be something completely different than what I've been. Because my journey from being a little, you know, unknown guy on the internet, messing around with YouTube videos, okay, basically doing stuff that I never felt would ever be popular, just dicking around with games and not taking things seriously, alright, and somehow blowing up by complete luck on YouTube and becoming one of the biggest Let's Players of the time. And then the years of stuff, the waves, right? I always called it the waves of popularity. You get high highs, you get low lows, you get big positives, you get giant negatives, right? The ride I've been through is a unique one, and I really don't feel that anyone would ever be able to emulate what I've done. And even though right now, you know, I do have many positives in my life, including living with my beautiful girlfriend in a nice house, and I get to do what I love for a living, the fact that I'm in pretty much very bad financial situation and stuff like that, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, okay? So all that being said, I don't think you could. I think right at this era, in the era of 2018, is very different from the era of, you know, 2000 and, what was it? 2009? When I started, no, 2008 is when I actually first started officially uploading my videos to YouTube in a big way. So I don't think you could ever look at my path and emulate it and become a popular YouTuber or streamer. Too many things have changed. You know, just people in particular say you cannot be a Let's Player and make a living anymore or become popular anymore. You just can't. Like, the big guys are up there and will be established at the top forever because of the way YouTube is now set up. It's not even set up that a smaller guy can be discovered anymore. So I would say be yourself and find a way to become noticed, and don't try to copy me, because I don't think that what I did would ever work for anybody else at this point. Okay? Real talk. Well, holy crap, ladies and gentlemen, I just received a 10,000 bit cheer from the Lord Lamb V3. That is pretty amazing. Thank you very much, Lord Lamb V3, and I'm going to update the leaderboard right now, obviously. 10,000 bits. So thank you very much, Lord Lamb. I do appreciate that. All right. Wow. That is humongous, ginormous, and you are certainly awesome, sir. I'm pretty sure you're going to be the top cheerer for today. 10,000 bit cheer. Now, that being said, let's address what he says here in his cheer. He says, why did you decide to get a business degree other than something like law? Well, the truth of the matter is, when I was going to college / university, whatever you call it, was a very tumultuous time in the United States economy, and sadly, what I had originally planned to do didn't work out for multiple reasons. First of all, my parents literally told me you're going to college no matter what. So I didn't even have a choice. It was like, they were like, listen, we know what's best for you, and you're going to do what we tell you. And you know what? Whatever, you know, at the time, in order to become something successful, you really did need a college degree. It's not like today. Today, sadly, college degrees are like handing out fucking, you know, candy bar wrappers. Everyone gets one, and no one can even get a job even with them, okay? But back then, it was different. Back then, you're talking 18 years ago. Things were a lot different. And so, I originally wanted to go to college, university, whatever, for computer science. But at the time, this was the big tech boom. This was before the tech bubble had burst, and all of those jobs went away. It was the big burgeoning era of everyone was a computer programmer and everyone was doing it. And by the way, it wasn't computer science for gaming. That didn't even exist. There was no university path to become a game designer back then. It was all about computer programmers for like businesses and stuff. So I was going to school for that, and two things happened. Number one, I found out that the school I was going for only had one major teacher who taught it, and he was a terrible teacher. He was really good at coding. He was very bad at teaching. He was very hard at relaying his stuff to people of how to do it. He would sit there for 45 minutes in a class doing an equation, and by the end of the class, everyone would be scratching their head saying, we don't understand what you did because you, like, skipped major steps, and no one knows what's going on, and it was really tough, okay? That was number one, and I wasn't too pleased that I was paying, you know, a lot of money to go to this university, and basically, no, you know, I wasn't getting anywhere with it because I wasn't really learning anything, okay? Number two, at the same time that all this was going on, the tech bubble burst. So literally the entire tech industry of the late 90s, early 2000s exploded, and all the tech stocks dumped, and a lot of companies went out of business, and there really weren't any jobs for computer programmers anymore. So I was like, well, this sucks, because here I am, you know, over a year into university, and all these classes I took are pretty much worthless, because if I graduate with this degree, no one's going to hire me. So what do I do? And of course, what I had to do is I had to look into how am I going to adjust on the fly and still get a degree here and not waste or throw away all this time that I felt like I had wasted. And the biggest thing that my school was known for was business. It was a business school, a giant business school where you could become marketing or you know, accounting / finance, or there was a third thing too. There was like 3 or 4 different major specializations you could do for business. And I actually was kind of between a couple of them. I was considering marketing and accounting and finance. And eventually, just through some of the courses that I took, I liked finance better, so I became a finance major. My school was not known for law. And if you're not aware, Lord Lamb, law school, okay, law school is incredibly expensive. Like, even if I went to this university and started with law, I would have had to go to additional schools or whatever. And I already was up to my eyeballs in debt. I had taken out multiple loans in order to afford my college education, and there was no way I was going to be able to afford it. Unlike a lot of my other colleagues in school, I was working jobs to pay for school. So I couldn't even do, for example, an internship, which a lot of them were doing these unpaid internships to get experience so they could get better jobs when they graduated. I couldn't do one because I had to work to have money to pay my fucking school bills. So it was complete bullshit that, oh, everyone has equal footing in America. No, they don't. If you're rich, your family has a ton of money, basically you get the better jobs because you're able to do the things you need when you're in university to get those jobs. I couldn't do it. I was busting my ass working on weekends and weeknights to pay the money to pay for me to go to school. And then when I finally graduated, I wasn't able to really use my degree for anything because everyone wanted someone with experience that I couldn't earn because I was working to pay for school. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I mean, would I have liked to do law? Probably. Because, as you know, I'm good at speaking in public. I'm a pretty good public speaker, just considering I do it every day on stream for how long, right? And certainly I think that it would have been something interesting to be part of. But, sadly, I don't have, I never had the money or the means to do it. Couldn't go to law school or anything, so it is what it is, Lord Lamb also did another 1,000-bit cheer. Holy crap, thank you, Lord Lamb. He says, let's get the party started. All right. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all of your contributions. I do appreciate you guys, being here. One final thing, because I forgot to mention this. It is a new week, my friends, and that means that the leaderboard, the Cheers leaderboard has reset on Twitch, okay? Completely reset. So the top 10 are now different, and what I want to do, since we now are at the end of pre-stream and we're going to start with Simpsons, I do want to give a shout-out to the top 10 contributors cheering for just today, because it really only counts today, because it reset for the week, okay? All right, so the top 10 contributors. Number 10, Beard Tendy in 10th place. Tied for 9th, we got That Douche Kid and a Big Bubbling Black Man. Tied for 7th, Infinite and Third Eye the Third. In 5th place, PS Geek. In 4th place, Johnny Saurus Rex. In 3rd place, Game Master, Used Phoenix Down. In 2nd place, Zacho. And in 1st, the Lord Lamb V3, of course, with that ginormous cheer earlier. Thank you very much. One final cheer from Johnny Saurus. He says, do you think you would have went undefeated as a lawyer? I don't think anyone does. Like, the thing is in life, and I've certainly learned this over the years, okay, is in order to be a good winner, you have to know how to be a good loser. And you never learn anything and get better by winning constantly. It's the true, this is actually, I actually was just talking with Kat about this the other day. When you see the true nature of a person is how they react when they're down or when they fail, not when they succeed. When someone fails and they're facing adversity, then the real person comes out. And that's how you determine the real mettle of someone, right? And who they really are. Because if you go coast through life as I win everything I do, everything else successful everywhere I go, I never face adversity, then you never were challenged. You never really had a chance to persevere. You didn't persevere at all. It was just win, 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 positive, positive, positive. It's when negatives get thrown your way, when losses get thrown your way, that you really become something better. So honestly, if I were a lawyer, I wouldn't want to win every case. I would want to lose cases to know what I did wrong and to basically, to become a better at what I do. So there you go. There you go. All right, everybody. I think we're good. Thank you guys very much for your contributions. Just a reminder, the best way if you do want to support me today and for the next week or so is through tips, because tipping is something that I get right away, and I'll be able to help with my finances and my bills and stuff around here in the next week as everything comes due. But I am incredibly grateful for everyone's contributions, including these ginormous cheer and the subs and the like. Everything is awesome. Thank you guys very much. All right, let's go ahead and let's begin with the Simpsons Hit and Run continuing. We're still in Lisa's world. I got to find the final race, and then I also have to obviously do the story portion. So thanks, everyone. Appreciate that. Let us now begin with the Simpsons.